All right, I had to get a brand new DCU update on this Saturday morning because as soon as I posted my video yesterday, I was bombarded by messages from people that some other scoopers had mentioned that the DCU Batman was actually going to be George Clooney and that he would more than likely only be having a cameo inside of the Flash film. But as of today, more information has been released, and Batman on Film, which is a very reliable Batman source, I've been reading their materials for over a decade now, they came out and said that, sure enough, the new DCU Batman is more than likely going to be Clooney going forward. And I want to talk about what this means and the implications of this. If this is the route that Warner Brothers Discovery and James Gunn decide to go, they're going to lose millions and millions of fans. I'm willing to give James Gunn a shot. Now, I've told you guys this before. I'm going to see everything regardless because, my channel is, DC-centric. But I don't trust Gunn based on his past materials. And to jump out of the gate here with stuff like Creature Commandos and The Authority doesn't make any sense. You have to give the fans the meat of the characters here, and they're simply not. He's come out and said he wants like a 25-year-old Superman, but then you want to have a 60-year-old Batman? That doesn't work in any DC universe. It definitely doesn't work in mine, and I'm sure it doesn't work in the majority of people's vision of what a DC universe should be. I would love nothing more than to see a world's finest movie and a Trinity film. Out of everything that's getting released and out of everything that I want on my bucket list as a fan is a world's finest movie, a full-on Batman-Superman film. And you could say Batman versus Superman does not count, okay? They didn't even team up together until the very end of the film, so that is irrelevant. I want a true Batman-Superman team-up film. I want a true Trinity film. All the other stuff is just white noise. And for them to even consider going in this direction is flipping off millions and millions of DC fans. There's no other way to even put it. They are just giving us the middle finger, and I have a feeling that this is the way James Gunn is going to go with this. Now, we'll see if he comes out and refutes these claims because he's been quiet since these rumors started, a day and a half ago. And the stupidity. This is stupidity on a whole different spectrum. You're going to have a young Superman, but a 60-year-old Batman? In what world does that work? I cannot believe that this is what they're considering doing. I just cannot believe it. Every day, more information comes out, and I'm just left beside myself. Like, everything that is happening sounds like a horrible, horrible plan. Now, if he comes out and refutes it, I'll do another video about that. I just do not understand what they're trying to build here and what they're trying to do. This just does not make any sense to me at all. It seems to me like he's going to focus on the weird stuff and not really focus on the things that are important. And Wonder Woman's not even the first part of this first chapter. Instead, they're doing a Themyscira show. Who asked for that? Like, I don't care if you make it like Game of Thrones and you think it's going to be popular because that was the trend with Game of Thrones. Number one, it's definitely not going to be on the scale because Warner Brothers doesn't have the money to put into what made Game of Thrones special was the production value. It wasn't necessarily the storyline. It was the production values of that show. And there's never been anything like it. Every other show that's going to come out is going to look like crap compared to something like Game of Thrones. So to say it's going to have that kind of a tone and a look, they don't have the money for that. And give us Wonder Woman. I don't want a Themyscira show showing the early history of the Amazonians. I just don't care. As a DC fan and a superhero fan, I want to see Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And so far, they've shelved Batman and they've shelved Superman in this whole DCEU that has led up to this point. And David Zaslav came out and said he was going to correct that and put the focus on those characters, and he lied. He just flat out lied. Why they're letting James Gunn take the reins to this, it's just disgusting. I'm just disgusted at the information that's coming out. It just does not make any sense. Somebody help me make sense of this. In what world, and somebody's got to give me a great answer to this, in what world does a 25-year-old Superman and a 62-year-old, and by the time it comes out, he'll be close to 65, and a 65-year-old Batman, in what world does that make sense? To have a 40-year gap between these two characters. What is going on? Yeah, it's time to fire James Gunn.